Hello, I am Quentin McCall and welcome to Knowledge for Finances. Today we'll be discussing the 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day plus late payment penalties and how they impact your score-wise. Now, did you know that 30 and 60-day late payments are not considered a key derogatory? Yes, folks. That's correct. 30 and 60-day late payments are not considered a key derogatory in the FICO scoring algorithm. Additionally, it is not considered a major derogatory when it comes to underwriting metrics, assuming there has been an improvement of the underwriting over a period of time. We'll get more into explaining in detail about what that statement means. So, let's say that you have a BMW. Let's say the car is financed through BMW Financial Services. And let's say that you have a 30-day late on July 2020. All right. Now, that's one 30-day late. You got the car current. Now, you have that notation on your credit report. Now, when you first got that 30-day late and it went late and it showed up on your FICO score, you got a big payment drop. Score drop. Now, how much it dropped depends on your score buckets. Now, we'll get in more detail about scoring buckets and how you move from bucket to bucket and how each bucket affects how much you're going to be penalized. A lot of people do not realize that your actual scoring is just data, but it's data compared to the averages and the mean of other U.S. American citizens within your scoring bucket. That determines how much weight each negative derogatory item impacts your score. For example, if you have a 800, 850, you don't need a 850, you don't need an 800, but just give me an example, 750s, etc. If you get a 30-day late, it's possible for you to drop 60, 50, 70 points even. If you have a 820, 840, you could drop 100 points. And the reason why is because the individuals you're being compared to within your scoring bucket probably have no late payments. So if you get one late payment, that kicks you out of the mean of the bucket, and boom, it kicks your score down at a greater percentage. Let's say you have a 600 credit score or a 580 credit score and you get the 30-day late, your score may drop 20 points. Why? Because there are already people in your bucket who already have a 30-day late. Thus, you do not drop as much because you still have payment activities that are similar to those within your scoring bucket. The buckets within the scoring algorithm completely impacts how much points you get for positive activity and how many points you lose for negative activity. It's all about a penalty. That's all it is. So that's why a 30-day late payment typically only has a 9 to 12 month score penalty depending on the bucket that you're in. So that means if you were late on your BMW July 2020, by the time July 2021 comes around, that score hit from that 30-day late is gone. Your score is right back to where it was before the 30-day late. And if you have other credit accounts that you've been paying on time, your score actually should be higher. Now, common sense will tell you that if you have multiple 30-day lates, you get one in July, you get one in September, you get another one in November. Each time you take a hit on a late payment, each time you hit that bucket, you're gonna take a particular score bump each time, but it won't be as much. It will lessen as you add in the payments. Once again, why? Because you're falling into a bucket that has people within your bucket who already have late payments as well. Now, as you get 9 to 12 months behind you on each individual payment, the score will improve, the score will go back up and you'll be back to where you were. Now, on 60-day late payments, it's 2 to 2.5 years. As you can see, that's a lot longer penalty. But the main reason why this is the case is because the FICO algorithm measures the last 24 months the strongest. Now, this is key to understand, because when you're in a rebuilding stage and you're rebuilding your credit, understanding the last 24 months is crucial. The last 24 months gets you back to prime status. Actually, if you make 13 payments in a row, you're kind of already back to prime status. But it's really, you need 2 years, no lates, no derogatories, no collections, nothing, for 2 straight years to put you back in a prime credit status. However, there are lenders, 13 is enough. So that's kind of like what you want to focus on, is when you have negative information on your credit report and you're unable to get late payments removed, remember this information. Know that 1 year, up to 1 year, 9 to 12 months for the 30-day late, 2 to 2.5 years for the 60-day late. So all you got to do is just count from that number of years from when you were late, and that'll give you a good idea when you'll get those points back. Remember, the last 24 months are the most important metric in scoring your credit report. The most important. Now, did you know a major derogatory is anything over 90 days late? It can impact your score for 7 years, but there is more to the story. Now, the reason why it's more to this story is because, from my experience in my 20 plus years of being in the credit repair industry and being in the financial literacy industry and being in the lending industry, I've seen firsthand that it doesn't impact your credit for 7 years. It impacts your credit about 48 months. So 90-day lates, charge-offs, collections, etc., repossessions. Around that 48th month is when it starts having little to no impact on your credit. You actually will start seeing improvement from about 3 years forward from these negative accounts. Now, let me preface that by saying that if you have an unpaid charge off, you have an unpaid repossessions, that is still going to be detrimental to your scoring, because remember, anytime you have an unpaid collection, why do I keep saying collection? I mean charge off or unpaid repossession, those late payments are going to be hitting every month, meaning collection charge off status will be reporting on your historical payment history every single month. Now, until you resolve that, you won't be able to get the full benefits of what I'm telling you and the points, because basically until you resolve that, it will continue to drag your score down. You have to get rid of the charge-offs and the defaulted information, whether that's student loans, whether that's the repo, whether that's a charge-off. Anytime they're carrying a balance, they're hurting you. Now, let's say that charge-off is sold to a debt buyer, Midland Funding, LVNV, etc., and it goes to a zero balance. Okay, now what I'm teaching you as it relates to the major derogatory matters even more, because now that account is dead. When I say dead, I mean it's closed. It's not reporting anything. The balance is zero. After that account hits about 4 years, literally no score impact whatsoever. Zero. Especially if you've been paying everything on time up to that point, or within the last 2 years of within the 4-year period. Also, keep in mind, student loans. If you do have a default student loans, which I've discussed in another video training, make sure you get into a rehabilitation program. The loan rehabilitation program will help get these loans out of default, help to get that balance back to zero, helps you open up a new loan, also will help you be able to start over fresh. All right. So that's very important to understand. So these hits on your credit do not last as long as one may think. It's just important to understand that unpaid charge-off, unpaid collections, and I keep saying collections, unpaid repossessions, defaulted student loans will mess up the late payment penalty, because of the fact that you will still be getting a late payment every single month, simply because of the fact that it's continuing to report a charge-off every single month. This is very important to understand. Although this information that I'm giving you is golden, it's great information, but I need to preface the major derogatory aspect, because even though 90 plus lates and major derogatories only have about a 4-year penalty, even though 4 years is a long time, but even after that 4 years, and even with that balance, it's still not going to have much impact on your score. However, it's going to still penalize you from the standpoint of you being able to improve and build your score, because of the late payment activity of the constant charge off every single month. So it's very important to resolve charge offs, any deficiency balance from repos, any defaulted student loans. These things must be taken care of if you want to have a high credit score. They must be even if it's not deleted from your credit report. If you get the charge offs to zero balance, you get any deficiency balances to zero, that is the most important thing to happen. Even if they're not deleted, having the zero balance is what's going to improve your score, because then your credit metric, your credit data can now report on-time payment history from whatever positive accounts that you now have reporting, because now those accounts are dead. They won't count anymore in the historical payment history data because they're closed and dead. Now the positive accounts that you had, if you paying them on time, now your score start to shoot to the moon. If you have any additional questions about this, or you're kind of confused about it, click the links at the bottom. Make sure you contact me or one of my team members. Make sure you click the like button. Subscribe to our channel. We have more information coming. We'd love to be able to serve you. Any other additional information or any kind of topics, please leave a message in the comments. Thank you and have a great day.